desire to steal stuff from the store because I don't see material possessions as defining myself. I define myself based on my life experience. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, all I'm saying is that we can't say that something's inherently good, something's inherently evil. To do that is to set things apart. Once you set things apart, you make separations. Once you make separations, you allow things to happen. Like everything, like I said earlier, the creation story, it's telling us we're all the same, but we don't look at each other as we're the same. We look at each other as we look at each other, and what do you see? You don't see a person, you see the clothes they're wearing, the car they're driving. You know, you have all these things that you set up as your self-identity that is superficial. Like if you listen to people speak, they don't talk about anything at all, well, for the most part, except superficial like stuff, like, oh, I went to the mall, the football game. It's all superficial. There's nothing, and like that can be a good thing, but the thing is that it's being used against us. Like to go back to what I said before, they're using our natural drives and urges against us. And who's doing that? You know, like businesses are doing, companies are doing. You flip through a magazine and you see a really beautiful girl, like, you know, advertise in a makeup advertisement. How many, like, she's like she's, you know, 1 in a million, but all these girls like look at this and they're like, I have to be that way.
All right, now the creation account talks about the fact that the Creator loves you so much so that he sent his only son, Jesus, to die on a cross to forgive you and me for our sin and to give us eternal life. Have you put your faith in him?
No.
No? Why not?
Because I don't think I need that to be happy.
Yeah, but if he really loves you, wouldn't it be natural to respond to his love by loving him in return?
And as I said, you know who my God is everybody around me. Because we're all part of this big, we're all on this earth together.
Okay,
and we lose sight of that.
If he's part of God and if I'm part of God and I haul back and slap him in the face, what just happened? Part of God just hit part of God. So why is it wrong for me to slap him in the face?
I don't understand where you're going.
You said we're all part of God. Fine, I'm taking what you say seriously. I'm part of God, he's part of God, according to your view. I slap him in the face.
But according to my view, God doesn't exist.
I thought you just said we're all part of God.
I said we're all God in ourselves. I don't think there is a God.
Okay.
So if you to say that you slapped somebody and you're part of God, I would definitely say that's not right, because I don't believe in God, because everything's subjective. You see what I'm saying? Like,
okay, if everything's subjective, why are you using rational thought and language to talk to me?
Because we have a shared language that allows us to do so.
But if everything is subjective, how on earth can you mean anything when you use language?
Exactly. That's my whole point. Thank you very much.
You bet. Have a great day.
Hey, thanks.
Why did you waste your time talking to me?
Look, you're not. I didn't waste my time, because I listened to what you said, and I'm gonna put it with my ideas. I'm not like trying to argue with you or anything. Of course.
No, you're not arguing. You're playing a game, and I enjoy games at times.
We're discussing ideas, right?
But I don't enjoy this game. All right?
Is this a game? How is this a game?
Because you're saying everything's subjective.
It is subjective.
Well, if everything's subjective,
tell me what's not subjective. You give me a point of something that's subjective.
I sure will. I am listening and trying to understand what you mean by your use of words. I am trying to respond as rationally as I am capable to what I hear you saying. But you have just communicated to me, I'm sorry, everything's subjective. Well, if everything's subjective, then I can't understand what you're saying, and you can't understand what I'm saying, because it's all just subjective. See, I can't live in that kind of world, because that world just breaks down all over the place. It makes no sense.
Where does it break down?
Because you totally redefine words. Words don't mean anything except what you subjectively mean.
Right.
Baloney.
How's that baloney?
If I say I hate him...
No, okay, so baloney, you just
No,
said
listen.
baloney. Baloney's a lunch meat. Baloney's a lunch meat.
Yeah, you can use it symbolically to mean something other than meat that you eat at lunch.
So that's subjective.
No,
Yeah,
that is
subjective.
called
That's
analogy. That's called
subjective.
metaphor, okay?
Yeah, that's
now, when I say I hate
Metaphors
him,
are subjective.
that is the opposite of saying I love him. But if everything's subjective, then no. There's no difference between love and hate. It's all just a personal trip. It's totally subjective, and that's where we disagree. Strongly, I disagree with you.
Okay.
I think this is really here. I don't think this is subjectively here. I think there's such a thing as reality. And this is objectively here, this step. and I can step up on it, and I can step off of it. And I think you're there. That's why I've been struggling to understand what you have been trying to communicate to me.
Right.
I don't just say, well, you're a dream I'm having. No, I take you seriously. I seek to understand you and then respond reasonably to you.
You seek to understand me, but you understand me how you want to understand me, or how you perceive
No,
me
I am
to
working
be.
as hard as I can to understand what you believe. And you obviously disagree with me, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't but like,
Yes, you
I
do
don't
disagree with me,
what
sir, and
you're
don't
saying.
lie to yourself and lie to me and tell me that you agree with me.
I disagree with you that there's a God. Yes, I do.
Thank you. Exactly. You made that real clear, and that's your right, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But I don't respect you intellectually if you're going to tell me, oh, no, we agree, because everything's
Wait.
subjective.
Wait.
We don't agree.
But okay.
I think
so,
there's a God, you think there's no God.
So-
I respect your right to be an atheist.
So yeah, I'm not an atheist. I don't. Okay, so this is it. I don't like say there is no God, but I don't say there is a God. But this is all I'm saying. Is yes, we live on Earth. We live in a physical world, and yes, it does exist. But how you look at things is up to you. It's not my version of reality is not your version of reality.
Yeah.
Apparently, but it's the same. But we live in the same world, right?
Right.
But I don't see things the same way as you do. That's
Correct.
all I'm saying. But like for us to like say that something's inherently good, inherently bad, there's good and evil, that totally like neglects everything that's in between those 2 points.
All right.
So that's what I was saying earlier, like going back like to that, like that's what I was saying earlier, is that like when we make sex seem as if it's a temptation that we have to hide until you meet that one person, then it kind of puts a tint of shame to it. And there's no shame in sex. Do you think there's shame in sex?
Sex is a beautiful gift given us by God to be enjoyed within the context of relationship. A relationship that is a lot deeper than hooking up for the weekend. A relationship that is a lot deeper than, oh gosh, I didn't realize you had that bump. I'm out of here. A relationship that is a lifelong commitment. And it's within the context of that lifelong commitment that God calls us to enjoy sex. But if you rip sex out of that lifelong commitment, according to Christ, you are dehumanizing yourself and you're dehumanizing your sex partner. You're turning her into a Barbie doll, you're turning yourself into a stud, and God says, guess what? The woman is not a Barbie doll and you're not a stud. You're human beings created in the image of God. University of Florida, guy steps out of the crowd and says, Cliff, you're wrong. I really love my girlfriend, and we're not married, and we have sex all the time. And we really love each other. I said, that's great. Tell me about how much you love her. He waxed poetic for a couple of minutes. I interrupted him and said, I got one question. Tonight she's involved in a car accident. Her pretty face is totally rearranged. Are you still going to love her tomorrow? And I really appreciated the guy's honesty. He said, no way, man. If her face is totally rearranged in a car wreck tonight, I'll go out and get some other fox who turns me on a little more. I said, okay, now let me ask you another question. Does she really love you? He says, yeah, man, she really loves me. I said, great, tell me about it. He waxed poetic for a couple of minutes. I interrupted him and said, tonight, sir, you're involved in a horrible car wreck. Your handsome face is totally rearranged. Is she still going to love you tomorrow? The dude looks me in the face and says, yeah. I said, okay, my man, according to Jesus Christ, she is ready to make a lifelong commitment to you and to enjoy sex with you as a gift from God.